Alright guys, so it's just rolled into April 16. I just wanted to give some context of the time because I'm probably not uploading this until Saturday. So I mentioned Twitch drops on the horizon. That's happening around May, just in time for the jungle update. So yes, that's happening. Again, just consider looking in the description because if there's something that's interesting to you, but just want to skip ahead to that, all the chapters are provided, including those Twitch drops. But in short, big profits, alright? All the green clothing armor skins have gone up in price insanely, and you just look at that picture for a good example because 3 people there, you can't see them. So it's a bit of a yapping video, and there's a lot of like talking about how certain prices have gone insane. So many skins have tripled in price, it's that maddening. But I forgot to mention what time it was when I recorded this, so once you watch this at the time, there's probably been more mentions of what Twitch drops are being made and when it's coming out specifically, and maybe the prices have changed as well. But all the things mentioned in this video will still apply. Big profits, but could we potentially see the prices rise up even higher? That's the question, and I know some of you will be questioning it, but you'll probably get the answer very quickly. Just look in the description, see the chapters, there you go. Very, very big profits, but yeah, if something's to your interest specifically, look at the description, all chapters are provided. So, what's going on, Hedge? What are we here for? You just said big profits. Well, basically, we have had access to the jungle biome in Orcso 3, and it's really good. Well, it's really good for green clothing and armor, more specifically. Now, it is debatable what people are going to need to do to warrant to want to go to the jungle biome, because as of now, it doesn't look like big monuments spawn in there. Again, everything is subject to change. You have to be aware of that. But it really is a bit confusing because, like, I've been in there for quite a lot. I haven't seen any nodes spawn, like there's no stone, no sulfur. So what are people going to go there for? We don't fully know yet, alright? But green is king. Like, it is absolutely insane. So, I'm just going to talk about what's happened over the past few days, talk about the insane price rises we've seen for the skins, and talk about what we should contemplate for the future. Sounds good? Right, let's skip ahead now. Right then, so, in the past, more specifically back about halfway through January, I was talking about things I was considering investing into because, well, with post-Christmas, I was selling a lot of skins and I was getting some sweet, delicious profits. But of course, if I want to continue selling my rust skins because they're at very high prices at this specific point in time, I had to make considerations for what I was going to do. So this is the same video. And basically, with the profits I had, I decided that I needed to focus in investing into more green clothing and armor because we knew back then that the jungle update was coming out. We had no visuals for what it was going to look like. But come on now, it was expected to be dark green, big trees, loads of plants everywhere. And I'm quite literally pointing out here, what, like 5 minutes into the video? So I was pointing out to everyone, I was talking about how I was going to go buy a bunch of flashbacks because it just felt too cheap for what it was. But I also bring up Reptile Hunter. So, again, back then, I honestly thought the jungle was going to be very dark green. I thought there was probably going to be tons of flowers and whatnot. Now, having been in Orcso 3 already, yeah, that's basically what it is. So, I've made a few clips myself. I've made a few, like, well, several different screenshots to showcase into people, and of course, streaming this as well. That, yeah, it's quite effective. So, as you can see here, Flashbacks pants for $3.64, and I think we'll also just get a look at some Reptile Hunter in a bit here as well. But in short, back then, the prices were very approachable, let's say that way. So if we could just skip ahead over to here. So that's like Reptile Hunter face mask for about $11, chest plate there for about $10, kilt selling for about $5 and a bit. The coffee can for about almost $6, the vest selling for about $6, the pants selling for almost $5. Yeah, somewhat pricey, but that was like one of the go-to options if you couldn't afford Forest Raiders, because back then it was selling for about $300, $350, a bit excessive back then. So if we could now go back over to here, you could go back and watch this video if you so wish. You can laugh at all the things I was like considering and whatnot, and then just to see how everything turned out. Because now I'm going over to my Twitter. So I've had a bit of a frenzy. I've had so many people visit my streams because everybody was super eager just to see how everything looked. And I didn't hold back. So I've got to point this out. Typically when I make a tweet, maybe at best I'll probably get 1,000 like people looking at it, some views, that's it. Usually it's a good few hundred. I got 56,000 views putting this picture out there. Now you're going to sit there and say, what am I supposed to look at? In this picture, and you know what, I'll link this tweet in the description of this video so you can go see this for yourself. In this picture, there are 3 different people standing there. They are all wearing different green clothing and armour. They can see you perfectly fine, but can you see them perfectly fine? And that is the point. The jungle biome is going to be an absolute fun place to ambush tons of people. And, well, that's half the reason why I don't think that many people want to go there. But when this comes out, which is going to be May 1st, 2025, as of now, you never know, subject to change, everyone's going to jump in there. Everyone's going to race to go over there just to see what it looks like and just attack everybody. There's so much cover. There's so many places to hide in the trees, in the bushes and whatnot. It's ridiculous. So how does this change the game from here and now? We shall see. But that is insane. In which the green camouflage. So this tweet went wild. Loads of people actually, replied to this, and I was very, very surprised to see it. So people have taken notice, and they've gone ahead and bought some of the skins. Now, if I could just go through a bit of a timeline, here I am, like actually showcasing to the people where where everyone is hiding and whatnot. Because I'm like, where is everyone? I'm really making a bit of a joke of it. But there's a guy hiding to the left. And there's a guy literally just hiding in the grass. And then the Forest Raiders guy is just quite literally standing right there. So that kind of got across to everyone. How cool. But like, I understood that a lot of people were like, oh, of course, all the more expensive green stuff's going to go up in price. I made a point that even the super cheap green clothing and armour was also getting picked at. Like, it was also just as effective. It was also very, very good. And as of recent, we found out, honestly, so as long as you're like wearing dark clothing and you're in the shade, in like some darker plant areas and whatnot, it's just as effective. Like, you can go all green all you want. Honestly, black, brown, it's just as effective to a point. And we'll bring that point up back again in a minute. But yeah, here's a $10 set where I was using the UFO set, forest camo pants, standard green, hoodie. Like, it's still just as effective. So if I could just like skip over to here, I'm like, making a point of it. But you just stand in the plant. Next to nobody's going to spot you. They'll run around and whatnot. They'll hardly even notice you, most likely. And if you're looking to pounce, you probably got yourself a nice kill. So yeah, and then I'm over here to the side here. You wouldn't notice me, but then when you get closer, oh, now you notice me. So yeah, a lot of people are now aware of this. I've had a lot of people look at my stuff. It's been very, very insane. And literally like the next day, I'm putting stuff out like this. So yeah, Reptile Hunter face mask got completely bought out. And the funny thing is, Forest Raiders face mask also got bought out, but they've ended up at similar prices. The Reptile Hunter set was supposed to be the budget option. Well, look at it now. So that was one thing. Tank armor gloves. So out of all the roadside gloves that we have, we don't really have many green gloves, and tank armor was a thing that came out somewhat recently. Wasn't really doing insane prices, but it kind of went from like almost $3 to just over $5. So, okay, that's cool to see. And then Reptile Hunter. Oh my word. Reptile Hunter, just before all of this, and like all the announcement and whatnot, it was just about $50. It's not $50 anymore. It doubled in price very, very comfortably, considering all the buyouts and whatnot. So, okay, that's cool. Did you invest? So, if we could just quickly go back over to here one more time. Did you look at Flashbacks? Did you look at Reptile Hunter? Did you actually buy it? I'd love to hear you. Like, write down what you did with all your profits. Some of you probably just bought games and whatnot. Fair enough. At least you got like something out of it. But did you actually invest into Reptile Hunter? I want to know. Now, if I could just quickly hop over to here. So if I could just go to my account, if I can just quickly, you can see Reptile Hunter there already. But yeah, guys, I bought Reptile Hunter a long time ago, and honestly, I haven't really made that huge of an effort to sell all of it. And I did make a bit of an effort to jump in and buy as many kilts that I could back in January, because I was like, I know the jungle update's coming out. I know it's coming. Surely we're going to see these skins go up in price. Surely it's going to be dark green and people are going to appreciate this collection a whole lot more. Well, that turned out to be a pretty smart idea. Anyway, back over to here. So looking at where we were, so I believe we're over here now. Yeah, it went from about $50 all the way up to $100, and it's even higher now. So we'll talk about that in a bit, don't you worry. So here is the funny one. So I put this tweet out, 27,000 views, whoa. But it really kind of points out the insanity that's going on. For just the Forest Raiders road sign kilt now, it's over $100. And you can see a barter there at $104.28. That is how insane it's been. The hype for the forest biome, the jungle biome, jungle hype, it's, I'm lost words. It has just gone exponential. Like, in the summer last year, I was looking at that and I was like saying, oh, surely $70 is going to be as far as it goes. Surely the Forest Raiders collection is going to stagnate from here and now. Foolish words, Mr. Hedge. Foolish words. So, yeah, it has been absolutely insane. But, like, I also bring up this question. How is a regular person going to afford this? I don't see many people actively wanting to spend $100 on skins in a game. So, like, I also bring up, like, so, in theory, surely this would justify, like, Facepunch accepting more green clothing and armor now. Because if the very best stuff is too expensive, a lot of people will get priced out. It's pay to win, I'm sorry to say, but it clearly is. And you've just saw all those people hiding in the grass just a second ago, didn't you? So here's something to consider. Maybe that actually does happen. Maybe some skin creators from other collections might be putting an effort in and trying to see if they can get their green collections to continue just in time for the May Forcewipe Rust rotation. So, moving on over to here, I've made a bit of a fuss about, primitive skins as well, because quite a few people are like, hey, you've shown off all the armour and all the clothing, but what about, like, early game stuff? So I just thought, you know what? What's the first thing I could think of? Oh, yeah, fish collection. So here I am, just standing there, looking ever so nice. Now, keeping the same view, where am I? Can you see me? Now, what I'll do is I'll also link this in the description as well, so you can go through this in your own time, because I took several pictures, same view, but I'm hiding somewhere else, and it really does kind of encapsulate like the the insanity of this. Now, for just this picture, I'll point out I'm hiding just over there. It's a bit more obvious to see it there, but if you were to just take a quick glance, you would even notice that that person's standing there. If you're keen-eyed, yeah, you probably would have noticed. So you'll probably be all right when this, update comes out. But for most people, ooh. And then from there, I made a point of like grabbing various different options for some primitive green clothing. So like fisherman set paired up with the fish collection. I forgot to put a bandana on with the bucket helmet, but with the actual video that I did do that. Fisherman Collection with the deep sea poncho, frog boots. Frog boots are totally fine. Like frog boots are a-okay, but honestly, you could just wear standard boots and it would be just as effective. So as long as it's reasonably dark, aka even hide boots, you're good. So then we also have Banana Collection with the Druid burlap skins. Do you remember when they gave away that pair of burlap shirt and pants as a Twitch drop? What was it, in 2024? I can't remember specifically when, but it was a generic drop. I know a lot of people have these skins. And then just what I thought was the ultimate like green camouflage primitive set. Fish head wrap, deep sea poncho, fish leather gloves, frog boots. You could also, wear the fish boots, and fisherman burlap shirt and pants. Like, that actually costs quite a lot now. But before, if you already own that, I think you're very happy right about now. So, yeah, I made a video making a fuss about like the different options you could consider for the primitive clothing and armor, essentially what we just said. But there is a lot of like standard green stuff. So in this particular set, I have the forest camo bandana. Costs about 10 cents as of now. So yeah, things are looking very promising, and even something like that, which isn't too hard to get a hold of in terms of like in-game resources and whatnot. I'm also in this one utilizing a Flashbacks right helmet, so yeah, so as long as you can cover your face, you're good. If you have a very pale character in-game, you've really got to cover up. And then I make a bit of a fuss talking about how, like, I'm hiding now. Can you even spot me? And as we get closer and closer, there you go. Now you can see him. But remember, he's already spotted you. Oh no, oh dear. And then over to here, we talked about this. So as long as you are wearing dark clothing, you should be alright. Now, with the snake mask, I made a bit of a joke. Remember to watch out for snakes in the jungle biome. Well, look at him. You would not notice that. And then second picture, can you spot him now? So once again, I'll link this tweet in the description of this proposed video. But it's not, this one's actually a little bit easier to notice. But if you're just running along, like you're in a rush or you got some resource and whatnot, it's so easy to pounce you when people aren't like actively looking around. And don't forget, people are in the trees as well. You can climb trees, you can just sit on certain like branch platforms, and of course you can swing around. Don't forget about that. I get the feeling that might be the safest way to get around with the swinging trees, especially when you can just hide in this. And then lastly, there's a second video where I quite literally talk about people being able to hide in those trees, for example, because if you kind of like stand close to the trunk, as you might notice right here, there he is. He's standing right next to it, but from a distance you wouldn't notice that. So that's just me there wearing the standard fish collection. I'm even using a green Thompson as well. So, okay, cool. Hedge, you've just basically pointed out what's going on. Nice. So what's next? Well, now I want to talk about the insane price changes that we have been seeing. So let's move on to this. Now I'm going to go from primitive to like the actual like, you know, big clothing and armor sets. Fish collection. Now please be aware of this. The prices that you see here on Steam are not like matching up perfectly. It's been very slow to update. So whilst it might appear that things are still like the same, especially in your own currencies, look at the actual pages, it is different. Something was there's some very weird things going on with Steam. I'm already fully well aware of that issue, but honestly, there's a new issue now. Something's going on with the prices not updating. Now, let me tell you, that's the same price. We had the fish bucket come out very recently, and it's doing a good job retaining its price. But if you can't afford a fish head wrap, and we'll talk about that in a second, honestly, fish bucket helmet with the bandana, both of them are basically retaining their value as of now. It's a very nice consideration. Now, you might also sit there and say, but Hedge, how often am I even going to get a bucket helmet? Okay, understandable. So now we should talk about the head wrap. That's not hard to get a hold of. To make in game, is it? No. It costs $6 now. $6. Now, a little bit before, it well, look at that. Look at that spike. Look at that spike. So that just kind of, showcases this jungle hype. It's insanity. So just a week ago, this was selling for about $2. Now it's tripled in price. Now, I should ask, did you happen to own any fish collection skins beforehand? Like, I can quickly show you this. So if I just quickly go grab my fish stuff, and there you go. It's not that much, but it's still, a bit, and I'm happy. But yeah, I have 55 of these. Now, here's the question. Do I want to sell now? If you are happy with the prices that you are seeing, by all means, go ahead, sell. Just don't sell like everything all at once. Sell them in small batches, but I just can't help but assume the peak of these prices is going to happen when the actual update comes out. So you've got another 2 weeks to wait. But the hype is still brewing between those 2 weeks. And then after that, it's the summer. Kids are out of school. So we should be fully well aware, if we could just quickly now go to here. When this update releases, which is at the very beginning of May 1st, there's going to be a lot of people turning up. But May average player count is probably going to be insane. And you should also consider how many people are going to turn up to play. How many people do you reckon are going to turn up to play for the first ever biome being introduced to Rust? Now, I'm not sure if, like, way back in the past, I think it was just, like, forest, and then they added desert and snow at some point later on. But this is, like, proper modern-day Rust. You know, after early access, for example, even though it's, like, 7 years ago. Anyway, so points still remain. This is a big update. Brand new animals, brand new weapons, brand new biome, brand new monuments. Like, you get the idea. So I think we probably will be challenging that all-time peak player count of 259,000. I think we're getting a ton of people turning up. And of course, if you can remember, when there was a lot of people playing around January time, prices were absolutely insane. And of course, going back to that video, that's why I made that video. I was making tons of profit selling all my skins. I had to make considerations for what to look forward to in the future. That's why I made the point in considering investing into green clothing and armor. We've come full circle now, haven't we? So, will we see these prices still continue afterwards? I don't think May is actually going to be peaking. I think it's actually to carry on and probably end up being June or July being the all-time peak player count. Well, I'm not 100% sure of that, but I think what I'm trying to say better is the average player count will probably be better. Okay, I'm going to go with that, actually. Yeah, sorry, the words came out a little bit too quickly before I properly thought about it. But yeah, look at May last year and then look at June. So yeah, kids out of school, playing games instead, not too hard to comprehend. All right then, so let's see how things are. But last year, in the summer of 2024, so this is from what I saw, my experience, and I'm sure you can trust me, so many skins reached new all-time high peak prices. That happened by default because it was the summer. What's going to happen now with this summer? So, yes, skins in general, by default, looking forward to them rising back up in price. But all these green skins we have here, I mean, it's already happening. But we don't know if this is actually going to be the peak. There's been a lot of hype moments in the past, and then prices cool off and go down afterwards. Yeah, I would agree to that. So again, if the price looks good to you right now, you make that consideration. If you own a lot of a certain skin and the prices are looking very good, sell half. You know, I could sell half my fish heads right now. I'd be very okay with that. But it's always the horrible feeling of, but if I wait, could I get more? Right, so let's just proceed with all of these skins now. So yeah, fish head, you're doing very nicely. And I do believe I wanted to talk about the fish gloves. Fish gloves are the only green primitive glove skins that we have, leather gloves. So I don't know what's happening next, but that is $6 now. That has been going up a fair bit, but it was already kind of pricey anyway, but, it's still getting bought out. So, yeah, maybe that keeps them going up. We shall see. We have the fish poncho. It's not the only green poncho we have. We'll point that out in a second. But it is $5 now. That went from, what, like $2 to $5? No, it was already like $3 and a bit. All right. It has still climbed. It is currently at its all-time high price. Can we quickly confirm that? Yes, we can. Look at that. Madness. So yeah, overall, everything is looking pretty good with the fish collection at the moment, but just not the newer ones. Even the hoodie and pants, the burlap shirt and pants, I should clarify, sorry about that. It's not very green, but because it's part of this collection, still getting bought out. So okay, cool. That's now sitting there at almost $4. It's just got one little straggler there. And then we have the pants. Pants are almost at $3, not too bad. And then we have the fish shoes. I'm surprised that these have gone up to $9 because you can just use frog boots, but I know not everybody has frog boots, so okay, fair enough. But no, that was always going up in price regardless anyway, but it has kind of bumped up a little bit more. So it is technically its all-time highest price, but it's not by that much. But it could probably just keep on going up and up and up. So that is the fish collection. The prices have improved ever so nicely. But just you wait until we properly talk about the Fisherman Collection. So this is a separate set. It is a boonie hat, a burlap shirt, and some burlap trousers or pants. The boonie hat, okay, you know what, $3, not too bad. You kind of need to pair it up with a bandana, and there's options from as simple as like the fish bandana, or you can use the standard green bandana, the forest camo bandana, or is it jungle camo? It's one of them. It's one of the standard bandana skins you get for free. But that's not really the main thing I want to talk about. So just to point out, yeah, it's slowly going up, but here we go. Now we want to talk about the Fisherman burlap shirt. Just sitting there at $14. Yeah, that got bought out. Sorry. I was exasperated. But no, that was like $5 before, now it's $14. It's basically tripled in price. And then we've got the pants over here. Yeah, a bit of a straggler there, but that also got bought out. So yeah, that got expensive. Yes, it did. But that's like the best green burlap stuff you can pick up. So are we going to start noticing other skin creators putting more of an effort in now to make some green clothing and armour? We've got to keep an eye on the workshop over the course of this weekend. Right then. Now we're going to move on to banana. So banana leaf, bandana and poncho. This is currently pushing up to $3. It has, respectfully gone up in price. Tripled in price. But it's more about the poncho. That's now sitting there at almost $20. Yeah, that happened. So, of all the foliage and the flowers and whatnot. Oh yeah, just wear my banana leaf poncho, I'll be alright. Yeah, I just got bought it for $20. Is that easy? Oh my goodness. So yeah, this went from like $5. It was actually cruising up very nicely as of recent. So let's just quickly show you this. I'm trying to get rid of the liquidity. Sorry about that. Right. So around late last year, it started to pick up around November. So that used to be literally like half a year ago, that was $2, just under $2. Now it's 10 times in price. 10 times. I hope that sounded normal. But anyway, you get the whole idea. That has gone insane. I don't think it's going to settle at 20. I think it might go down to about 10 to 15. But that is this jungle hype perfectly encapsulated right there. What? So, okay, cool. That's nice. That's cool. Now, alternatively, we do also have the Deep Sea Poncho. I kind of feel like this one's better. But again, opinions. It's darker green. I think it works a little bit better. But it doesn't, like, both the Fish Poncho and the Deep Sea Poncho have, like, something fairly bright that sticks out. On the Fish Poncho, it's the big eyeball. On this, it's the starfish. Banana Leaf Poncho doesn't have anything. It's just yellowy green all around. That right there is a bit of a darker green, though. At the end of the day, if you have like a flower covering that, it's fine. You know, just go in a very bushy bush. So that is now $5, and that was, well, it was selling for about $2 at one point. A good, what, month ago? A week ago, and well, yeah, now it's gone up in price. So yeah, wow. All right, now we're delving into the more core pieces. So core pieces being hoodie, pants, tier 2 and tier 3 armor. But to start with, the Flashbacks helmet. So that's now $5.50. But it is awkward based on the fact that your face is all like fully visible. But pairing it up with a bandana, no issue then. So, yep, that has been bought out as well. It's a fun time. Now, here's where we talk about the Flashbacks collection. Gentlemen, honestly, if you were looking for a very affordable option, like if you were looking for the best price for some green hoodie and pants, I mean, Flashbacks, it is what it is. So I made a bit of a joke about spending a lot of money buying 700 of these back in January time, but I still stand by the point. I have compared Flashbacks and Forest Raiders as much as I could. That is the best, most comparable green compared to Forest Raiders. Why do people feel the need to list 200 of them at the same time? I don't know. That is still incredibly cheap, and that is definitely the best, most, like, in terms of price, the best thing you could go for. So then we look at the pants, and it's a little bit more realistic in terms of actual genuine value, because that's now pushing up to $5. But the combination of both for $6, oh, mate, you couldn't do any better. Just wait until we talk about the other two collections, and you'll see more specific. Oh, I meant to say Reptile Hunter and Forest Raiders, because I'm not talking about those next. But yeah, whilst that's been comfortably rising up in price, and it kind of like stagnated for a bit after January, but yeah, it went bounced back up again. The hoodie just has so many listings. Like, if they all remove theirs, that actually would go up in price. That probably would match up to the price that the pants are selling for. But these people, I've said this so many times in the past, other people exist, and I don't know what it is. If they're doing it on purpose, if they're stupid, it's maddening. So yeah, if you were on a budget, perfect. All right, you wouldn't get any better. Now, when we showed off the Reptile Hunter and the Forest Raiders in that little video, and you know, of course, in that image that we have over here, where is it? This one here? Yep, that one. The other skin set that we had was a $20 budget, and I talked about considering the Franken chest plate. And whilst we have the face mask here, that's still gone up in price a fair bit. Not as much as you'd think, though. Only a fair bit. It's actually peaked up a higher price back last summer. Funny that. So now we'll talk about the chest plate. Oh, there you go. I can't help but assume me pointing that out probably led to that getting bought out. I'm being honest. So that's now $8, and that clearly got bought out. So yeah, there we go. But it's still a very, very nice option. But now with the price that it's at, like, you might want to consider looking at UFO Collection instead, which I did point out on my budget options. So UFO, it was very, very cheap. Like, the prices you see here, like $1.10 and $1.20, but because it doesn't update properly, I can confirm to you now that UFO face mask is $2, and the chest plate is now $2.32. So honestly, maybe that might be a better option now. Go buy yourself some flashbacks and buy that, and yeah, it's definitely going to be a whole lot more approachable and affordable. So, just pointing out what's probably best, bang for your buck. There you go. But yeah, The Franken chest plate was, it used to be like $3, very approachable, but now getting a bit silly. Right then, so let's now move on and talk about other skins. So Tank Armour face mask, that's part of that $20 budget set that I talked about. That's now $9. Now, we talked about this last year. It is vaguely green, and if you were to compare this to the many other green collections that we have, for a while, that was the best budget option. But now it's $9. The chest plate, however, has that big red dot. And when we first saw it, we pointed it out, we made a bit of a moan about it, a bit of a fuss. That has still climbed up a fair bit, though. I think a lot of people just don't care about this. I think, considering the flowers that we have in the jungle biome, it's not that super noticeable. You can offer your own comments in regards to that. That is still a very nice option to consider. But the gloves, well, when you look at all the road sign gloves that we have in the game, that right there is the only other green road sign gloves that we have, as far as I'm aware. So that was about, what, pushing up to $3? We did point out in that tweet earlier, it went up to about $5.30. It's now gone down to $4.96. Not a dramatic drop, but other people started listing theirs. So I know we've had the jungle hype, but now we're kind of starting to stagnate a bit as well. Prices haven't really changed that much since the initial hype within the first 2 days. But what happens over the course of the next 2 weeks? What happens when the actual update comes out? You tell me. I'd love to hear your comments. Because, of course, there are people currently asking me now, should I sell now? Should I sell now? I can't answer for you. You've got to tell me if the prices are good for you. So, personally, I'm waiting. I can wait. And I can't help but assume in the summer, at the very least, prices will be good and there will be more demand because there's more people around. I kind of want to wait until there's more people around so that, yeah, because I could list mine now. But me listing my stuff probably could cause a ripple effect and cause the prices to crash and burn and go backwards. Like, I'm not stupid, but I still know that with what I have could potentially cause issues. I need to see the demand being strong to then consider selling. This is why I normally sell during post-Christmas and the summertime. All right then, Reptile Hunter, here we go. So we've already talked about the face mask. That is now sitting there at $32. The bilders are helping justify the price, but I think some people have been selling to the bilders because it looks like it doesn't have as much as we saw back when we saw this image over here. So that had like quite a few. No, actually, it has actually improved. Okay, well, you know what, justifies the price, I guess you can say. So I have had 10 of these for a very long time, and let me tell you, I just honestly thought someday, surely it's going to be better. Yes, Hedge, good job. Well done. You were correct. Now, chest plate. That's bounced up a very nice amount. That was sitting around $8 for a while. Now it sells for $18, so that's gained $10. Also, just to quickly showcase to you with the face masks, face mask was sitting at around $11 for a while. And of course, it's tripled in price essentially. So, cool. That worked out very nicely. Then we have the coffee can. That's now sitting at $10.50. Just a little bit before, it was about $6. So that hasn't like tripled in price, but it's still greatly improved. Vest, that is now sitting here at $13. Barter's going up to about $11. And as you can see, essentially the same thing. So cool. But now we have the road sign kilt. So just to point out, for a very long time, the Reptile Hunter kilt was like the cheapest green road sign option, road sign kilt. There were so many of these that were bought that for a very long time, there was like 600 listings on the Steam market. This used to be very, very cheap. Let me show you its lifetime history, its sales. Now, as you can see, this did get very, very cheap. So cheapest price must have been about 65 cents at one point back in late 2023. Madness, isn't it? Because look at it now. Look at the spike it had. Whoa! So that had prices going all up to $9, and it's still $9. But I think what's happened is a lot of people have sold to the highest buy orders here. So yes, the sales price increased, but it seems the actual sales we've seen recently are selling to over to here. So again, it's that question of, is it going to maintain the actual price as we go through the summer? Probably. But again, when there's more people playing. Point made. This is why I think June probably is a better time to consider selling. But at the very least, wait until the actual May Forcewipe. Then you can think about what you do next. Because again, if we have the record-breaking amount of people playing during that first weekend, all right, go ahead, sell. Right. Anyway, so moving on. Reptile Hunter hoodie and pants has been a very, very big surprise to me. The hoodie is green, but it's got that underside, like, the crocodile, the belly, it's kind of more yellowy. But when you have armor over it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So that right there, $20. And I own 75 of them. It's beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, you were $5 back at the end of March, and now you've quadrupled in price. So beautiful. It's so beautiful. And then over to here, the pants, $13. And around the beginning of April, it's $4. So that's tripled in price. So yeah, things are pretty good. So as I've already said, Reptile Hunter, a good week ago, like a solid week ago, $50. It's now like 116. So, you go on SCMM to ABP, you type in for the collection, Reptile Hunter, and what do you see? Reptile Hunter Collection, there it is, and it's currently selling for $116, or rather the listings all add up, because again, something could be listed at a price, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's definitely that price. But overall, it has essentially doubled. Cool! Alright, moving on. So, Forest Raiders, here we are. Prices haven't fully matched up, and, well, here we go. So this is also $32. This also rose up in price ever so nicely. It's been doing that, ever since it came out, but it rose up very nicely. So just a little bit before, this was selling for about $20. This didn't climb up as much, but there's definitely a lot more confidence that this is actually going to retain its price after all this is said and done. So, okay, it's matching up with the Reptile Hunter now, but I still feel more confident in that one. Is it going to keep slowly rising up in price from here on now? If Forest Raiders does not have a strong enough competitor, yeah, it's just going to keep going up regardless. So, let's just give you a quick little insight. Forest Raiders, a week ago, $400. Back in January, $350. But now, $500. Now, you might sit there and say, oh, but the small box in the locker, $1.60 and $2.70. All right, knock off $4. It's still $500. Point made, yeah. So, yeah, okay, cool. So, chest plate, you have also bounced up quite nicely. Not insanely, but, a good month ago, it was selling for about $18. Now it sells for $26. It's still good. Coffee can is $84 now. But again, that's the listings. The buy orders are only going up to $65. If I was to look at the actual recent sales, you're probably looking more likely that's selling for about $75 to $80. It's the same thing, Hedge. So, yeah, wow. How did that happen? I don't know. It's madness. It's absolute madness, this. So, did you own a Forest Raiders collection before this happened? And, well, did you sell? I don't blame you for wanting to sell because the price was insane, but Forest Raiders has been going up in price slowly and graciously every single year. Yes, it has its dips, but it always rises up even higher the next time. So, I don't think this is stopping here. I really don't. Moving on, over to here we have the vest, and that's $97. So yeah, much like the kilt, the other tier 2 pieces have done quite nicely. That's because they sold a lot less compared to the other pieces in this set, and people want the full set, so, there's only so many of them to go around. It's going up in price. So, yeah, that was selling for about $60 before all this kicked off, and it's got, it's gained about like a 40%, 30%. And here it is, the most expensive piece, the only leg armour that we have. It is roadside pants. Is that stopping there? I do not think so. Look at the sales history that it has, and with your own eyes, you can clearly see that it's going up in price regardless anyway. Slowly, but graciously, constantly going up higher and higher and higher. Cool. So, yeah, and then we've got the hoodie, $35. We've got the pants, $55. So I'm just going to repeat this, right? $90 for Forest Raiders hoodie and pants, right? Or for $6, save yourself about $84. Honestly, if you want a full set of Forest Raiders, but you still want to kind of save some money, just get the full set, but instead of buying the hoodie and pants, just replace it with Flashbacks hoodie and pants. I know you're going to sit there and say, but Hedge, that's because you bought it. I have quite literally got videos doing comparisons on YouTube. If I were to type in like budget green, there you go, and I misspelt budget green, whoopsie. But I've made videos doing comparisons in the past. I've even got like a video showcasing the thingy. If I could just quickly fix that, whoopsie, my hand's messed up, sorry. So I have got a video where I quite literally point out that you can save a lot of money if you just consider looking at flashbacks instead. Did I have to type in Forest Raiders? It's been a while. It's been a while. So if I type in Forest Raiders on the Hedge channel, and what do we see? I'll probably find that video at some point. Yeah, I can't find it. Sorry. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is the video. You know what? Just to save everybody some time, maybe I'll link that in the description so you don't have to go through the fuss. But honestly, like, that was expensive back in the summer. What we have there with like Elite Crate paired up with like the Forest Raiders kilt. Not the Reptile Hunter kilt, sorry. Yeah, it was so much cheaper, and the difference is not that much, but the price is, whoa, a very big difference. Anyway, back over to here. So those prices are pretty ridiculous. Point made. And is it stopping? Probably not. $45 over here, $30 there. It's climbing up with it. That's going to hold its value unless something very, very similar appears as well. That is now $56. It wasn't that before. It was 40. But again, still, the jump isn't huge, but it's still gone up by $10. And again, the only thing that really compares to it within a reasonable amount is the tank armor. And that isn't exactly very green, is it? So, okay. And then we have the boots. Boots, yeah, they're the boots. So that was selling for about $9 beforehand. Now it sells for $13. That one's not a special. But overall, things have been insane. Hedge did yap on for quite a fair bit. I did warn everybody. But what do you do now? Well, I think the smart option is to wait. If the money is too good to say no to right now, by all means, go for it. Like, if you want to go buy some games and whatnot, if you want to go like buy some other skins with it, like, you could sell, if you own it, a Forest Raider set, pick up a nice budget option instead, and you'll be probably walk around with an extra $450. Yeah. But quite a lot of skins have already gone up in price. So it's up to you what you do. I've given you the heads up. I've gone through all the things, the situation, the price changes and whatnot. But I honestly believe if you are wanting to sell, you probably want to wait at least until the Forcewipe. So in 2 weeks' time. But you could also consider waiting until maybe around June or July time, because I am expecting a very strong summer. Even better compared to the previous year, which, by the way, had absolutely insane prices across the board. But when you look at the average player counts we've seen recently, you just can't help but assume June 2025 will probably be even more insane. All right? So don't start saying, Hedge, I own this skin. You're going to write in the comments right now, I have this skin. Should I sell now? Shut up. This has gone on for over 40 minutes. But point still remains. If it's good to you, make the consideration. If you're going to ask me, I'd sit here and say wait until at least May, even consider June. But if you're feeling really antsy and unsure, maybe just stick with the skins and just enjoy them. Because not many people are going to be able to use them as much as you can now. So we'll see what happens next. But we definitely need to keep an eye out on the workshop. Oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? So, I don't know when I'm going to upload this video, but I think we can probably point this out. There's some, what's that say? Twitch drops there. I'm simply reading what's being written in the workshop here. It looks like just in time for when this jungle update comes out, there's going to be some generic Twitch drops being given away from all the servers. So Rusty Moose, Play Rust, Rusticated, and Rust Spain. There'll probably be some more being made as well. But yeah, looks like there's going to be a big batch of generic drops. And yeah, they're going to try and entice you to want to watch Rust, play Rust, enjoy Rust. It's looking to be a very big update. And Facepunch is fully prepared for it, hopefully. So we're also expecting a brand new... kit, some sort of DLC pack. We're also expecting the brand new building skin, that being, I actually don't know the name of it. Was it just called Jungle Building Skin? They'll probably change the name of that, so of course, subject to change. But if I could just quickly go over to here, we've actually done some like comparisons to what skins could compare to that brand new building skin. I only showed this off like 5 minutes at best. So look at this, 58 pennies my currency, right? Aztec door. It actually blends in very nicely with the building skin. People obviously watched. $12 now. Typical. So 58 pennies my currency would have equaled to about 70 cents American. And it went up to $20 at one point, but now it seems to have settled at around just over $10. We've also made some comparisons with garage doors. We looked at Ruins garage door. This seems to work very nicely. Wouldn't surprise me if we see a continuation. By the way, the AK, the green AK, that's been bought out as well. That's pushing up to $7. But yeah, the garage door that we have here, I thought it looked nice. $3.23. That went from what, like $1, tripled in price? Yeah. Madness, isn't it? Actually, that's almost $4. $5. Look at it. And just by the way, you might be wondering, hey, how can you see more? I have Steam Inventory Helper extension. It's on Google, right? So, oh yeah, what was the other one? I can't remember the other one. Oh, what's it called? Stabby made it. What are you called? Oh no, Hedge. Well, if you just go over to here, remember, you can always just type in, the name of the thing, garage door here. I could just scroll back to the past. I'm thinking summer of 2022. So scroll. Yes, I remember when it came out. Can't remember the name of it. Aftermath. There you go. Thank you. God, Hedge, you're so stupid and weird at sometimes. All right. Anyway, $4.50 now, because it does reasonably blend in with the brand new building skin. And I also did a tweet about that, so you can actually see this for yourself. So if I go over to here, if I go look at my media, scroll. Where is it? Yeah, you tell me. Ruin garage door or Aftermath garage door? You might have a different option instead, so I can set this up now, haven't I? So yeah, overall, I hope everybody enjoys themselves with this update. Remember, May 1st. And I have got tons of shorts here, like just going over all the details. Quite literally, the videos that I uploaded to Twitter are also here. The comparisons of garage doors and sheep doors with the building skin, pointing out like camouflage options, the hoodie and pants options, hiding in the trees and whatnot. It's all there, all right? Sorry this video went on for a fair bit, but there was quite a lot to talk about, and I don't think it ends here. Also, consider looking at the towels and the sleeping bags in the jungle. The foliage is so dense, honestly, I think you just need like a dark sleeping bag and you're good. It's that silly. Right, that's enough, Hedge. Let's wrap this up. So all I can sit here and say is best of luck with you and your investments, or your skins that you bought but now realise are worth a lot more and you're stuck contemplating if you want to sell them. Sorry, but it's your choice, all right? I don't tell you. You've got to think about it. But if the money's good now, profit is profit. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. And yeah, that's all I can say. So either consider now, May Forcewipe when the update comes out, or maybe around June time. That seems to be like the conclusion. So, thank you very much. Catch you later. See you, goodbye.